Now let's try not to get offended. Not me, you. Or you. You know, so many Americans, yes, Americans, I'm afraid. It's back to Americans again. Because so many of you are here. And you're making your ideas come true by coming here to the Philippines. Now, you say you might not have enough for this or you might not have enough for that. The biggest mistake that Americans seem to make, first of all, they're the lucky ones. Why, you say? No, I'm not jealous. Let's get that out of the way. You have massive opportunity as a result of the very high military and private pension schemes that a lot of you have, to really make a go of it here in the Philippines. I say that because I think you tend to want to bring with you, and I can understand why. You've lived all your life, you've worked hard, as if everybody else hasn't, but never mind, you've worked hard, we agree with that. You've served your country. You've done all of the things that you would like to tell us all about. But the reality is that when you transfer yourself here to the Philippines, you seem to transfer like in a bubble. And you arrive here, and it's like you open the bubble again, step out, and you become, I want everything that I had back home, here in the Philippines. I also want a very sexy little young lady as a partner or a night companion. And if you're coming here to retire and to actually settle here for your old age, these are the ones I'm talking to. The ones who have made it a reality and are actually coming here. Now, some will say, don't buy, don't do this, don't do that, rent. Well, great idea if you're not sure about what you want to do. It makes sense not to go out and rush out, find a lady, build her a house, doing all that stuff. But the reality is that eventually that is the best option for you in the long run, really. And I'm not telling you how to spend your money. But the last time I heard, heaven doesn't allow dollars, cents, gold bars, cars, and fancy motorbikes up there. It's all equal. And therefore you can only use it here on earth. And you come with a sort of a mindset that you've worked hard for your money. I've worked hard for my money. I know there's a song like that. But that's fair comment. You have worked hard for it, just like I did, just like everybody else did. And we have a limited resource, whether it's paid monthly or not, or whether we have a certain amount in the bank that we're bringing with us, or whether we leave property overseas. The reality is that whatever we've done in life to achieve that, it's now going to be retirement time. And therefore, it's not necessarily going to grow. So it's going to start trickling down. Now, if you want the lifestyle of hanging out with other fellow Americans and expats from around the world in various bars in Cebu, Dumaguete, Angeles City, dare I say a number, then clearly you're going to deplete a lot of the money that you otherwise would have. But that tells me really, I suppose, that basically you're an alcoholic. You like to entertain and chat to fellow Americans because you're bored, and your lifestyle really doesn't fit around being a home person with your newfound lady, involving yourself with the family. Unless, of course, they're all pissheads together. But the reality is that you can have a good lifestyle here. You don't have to suffer, as so many people say, well, you can survive on 500, or you can survive on 1100 or 2000 per month dollars. The reality is, what do you call surviving? Surviving to me is having a glass of water, maybe a bowl of rice. That's surviving. In other words, you're just putting off death for a few more days. The reality is that what I'm talking about is not surviving just to stay alive. I'm talking about having a good standard of life. You have to learn. If you can't cook, don't know how to cook, don't know how to prepare a meal, then clearly you're going to have to rely on somebody else. Now, if your girlfriend is so young, she has never learned because she's been the princess in the house and she doesn't know how to cook, then maybe you're going to either have to get her some training or you're going to have to pay somebody to come in and cook for you. Either way, it's not going to cost a lot of money to have that done. You know, this morning I woke up and I decided I would make for everybody poached egg on toast. Simple meal, simple breakfast, and a nice cup of coffee. So difficult to make. Filled the frying pan with a little bit of water, brought it to the boil, cracked the eggs in it, scooped the water over the eggs, and then ladled it out and sat it on some nice freshly buttered toast, cut up into quarters, with a dollop of HP sauce just to give it a bit of extra zing. So simple. Maybe I could have added sausages, maybe I could have added baked beans, maybe grilled tomatoes. Ooh, I'm feeling hungry again. Now, if you're used to waking up in Texas, Chicago, New York, California, with a quarter pound or a half pound steak, or a T-bone steak, or a great big chunk of tuna every day, well, when you came to retire in America, were you able to achieve that without it feeling it's pinching on your pocket? Because if you were, then you can come to the Philippines with the good knowledge that most things that you would desire are here. Somebody or most people who are being negative will say, oh, you can't get this, you can't get that. Well, that's baloney. You can get just about anything you want. Now, do we really want caviar for our breakfast? Do we want top of the range whiskey? You can buy these things. You go down to Subic and go to Pure Gold. They've got all the brands. Buy it in bulk. Take it back to Cebu. Take it back to Dumaguete if you can't find it there. Order it online. You got the money, but you still live. You don't need to live on a massive amount of money. What you're doing is your lifestyle. If you demand that you want to go to a high-class restaurant every night, you want to go to a bar and pay the bar fee so you have a different lady each night, that's your choice. Don't complain when the money's run out, because it doesn't need to run out. You can save money on your pension here. And that's a good thing, because you might need it one day for a medical emergency. You might need it to fly home to be at your brother's funeral, or maybe your mother's, or one of your children, dare I say. But don't put the Philippines down as if you can't survive without T-bone steak. Do you know you can buy lamb here? Fresh lamb. How can you get fresh lamb, they say? Because they have lambs here. If you live in the province, why don't you get yourself a buck or two? No, not a buck. A ram. Or a ewe. A ram and a ewe. And breed them. And make yourself spring lamb. Lovely. Stick it in the freezer and you can have it any time you want. And it doesn't cost you a fortune. You can buy a lamb, a fully grown lamb, for about 7,500 pesos. If you have a few acres of land here in the Philippines, you can breed them. Make them for only yourself and your fellow foreigners. Sell them to them, a little sideline. Do it to achieve these things. If you really want to have certain type of cow or a bull, go out and buy one. Slaughter it yourself. Put it in a freezer so you've got it there. But the reality is you can't always spend every day on it. It's nice to have Italian one day, Chinese the next, but you can make it yourself. You can make coleslaw, you can make potato salad, you can make waffles, you can make pancakes, you can make hot dogs yourself, you can even stuff your own sausages, or even make your own stuffing to have inside your chicken, just like Mum made. And the reality is you can do it yourself. Teach your lady how to do it. Teach her so that she can experience those tastes too, and at an affordable rate. You don't have to spend more than maybe 10 or 12,000 pesos a month on food. That's a pretty good going for 4 people in a house. So don't kid yourself. If you want to spend $4,000 pesos a night taking your lady to a fancy restaurant, that's great. I'm not saying you can't, but I'm just saying if you want to live frugally, if you want to live sensibly, it's up to you to make your day happy and fulfilled. And if it is going to be end up sitting in a coffee bar all day till you wee yourself constantly for all the coffee, waiting till the evening, it's free time. What do they call it? It's 5 o'clock time. Oh, we get buy one, get one free. And you get a girl as well. Well, if that's your lifestyle, then it's going to cost you a lot more money. But didn't you come ostensibly for a wife and maybe a companion, somebody to share your life with simple things like sitting and talking, even if she's on the computer or on her phone all the time to her friends. You can watch TV. It's on the internet. Yes, it's a pain in the ass when the internet stops. But the reality is, you can also buy a little gadget to stick on your Wi-Fi and connect it to a battery pack, and you don't lose your internet. So, just remember, it's up to you guys how you set your life out. If you want to paint the picture of living in poverty because you're only on $1,000 a month, or $1,500 a month, or $2,000, compared to, look at me, I'm on 5.5, I'm on 7,000. Well, congratulations. You have more choices available to you. You can spend and waste your money as best you want. But those that are on a more modest level, the life and opportunity here in the Philippines to enjoy in your old age is plentiful. And therefore, it's up to you guys. Come down to earth. Burst that bubble. Have some reality about life. Stop dreaming of this fantasy that really doesn't exist. It's only in your head. And if you do come here with thousands of pesos a month to waste on girls, sooner or later the old thing down there ain't going to work. And what are you going to do? Go and buy a tablet and still convince yourself that you're 40 years old when you're close to 70, 75? Come on, guys. Get real. And you can insult me if you want. You have a good day. Bye now.